Good morning, Frontline Church. Today I have the honour of sharing my reflections with you about 1 Corinthians 9, verses 1 to 12. It's really humbling that you have set aside 5 minutes of your day. I don't know if I deserve it, but I'm honoured, and I pray that God rewards the faithfulness that you're demonstrating by using my words to speak to your own circumstances. This passage is mostly about whether or not Paul and his partner in ministry Barnabas deserve to be financially rewarded for their work. The answer to that question is a definite yes. They are devoting all their time and energy to their apostolic ministry to the churches of the day. And although Paul is known as an apostle who supported himself as a tent maker, so he is able to earn a living, obviously, the more time he gives to that, the less he can put into encouraging and building up the church. So he and Barnabas have to rely on those churches for practical and financial support, much like many church workers in our society. It makes perfect sense. His practical, theological argument, his case, if you like, is totally convincing. And yet, I can't really say I enjoy reading it. I don't remember who it was, but in one of our Moravian reflections on the book of Acts, someone said that they found Paul difficult to like, which I relate to as well, and I think it's true here in this passage. He says, "Am I not free? Am I not an apostle? Have I not seen Jesus our Lord? Are you not the result of my work in the Lord? Don't we have the right to food and drink?" he asks. "If others have this right of support from you, shouldn't we have it all the more?" I don't know, you have to excuse my irreverently snarky tone of voice, and I know that Paul is making a practical point that presumably did need to be made, but still there's something profoundly unattractive about a person harping on about the fact that they are underappreciated or underpaid or not getting what they deserve. Even if they're right, which they may well be, Paul was, it doesn't sit well with leading a Christ-like life, does it? After all, Jesus, he quite specifically did not get what he deserved. He took the punishment that we deserve so we could inherit the glorious eternity he deserved. Nobody enjoys listening to someone outlining just how underappreciated they are, which I suppose is why I don't really enjoy reading this passage. Not, that is, until we come to verse 12, when Paul says, "But we did not use this right. On the contrary, we put up with anything rather than hinder the gospel of Christ." Paul has decided that God's kingdom is better served by him going without what he has indisputably earned. It's very tempting for us to wallow in a miserable ditch of self-pity. I work at a secondary school, and I honestly believe my colleagues are deeply underappreciated and under-rewarded, especially this academic year. And I am guilty myself of turning my focus to whether or not I am getting the recognition I deserve. People don't realise the time I put in, all the responsibility. No one ever says thank you. I need to be more like Paul and Barnabas, do my work, and entrust my own fate and reward to God, who knows all and is just. So what is God saying, and what are we going to do about it? If I may, I'd like to challenge us all in two ways. Firstly, do we spend too much time and mental energy focused on wallowing and feeling hard done by? I'd suggest most of us are prone to that, and we'd actually be happier and more attractive if we chose instead to talk and think about what Jesus has done for us, however challenging we might find that. Secondly, I'd like to challenge us all to consider who we know that may be particularly undervalued, under-rewarded, deserving of better than they get. For example, I have found it quite uncomfortable this week to consider this question: who, out of everyone I know, has the worst paid job? And what could I do to let that person know that I value them, that I appreciate them, even that I love them? That is the model that Christ gave us. So let's all find a practical way to focus on what someone else deserves today rather than what we do. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.